everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're talking about breastfeeding. If you're new here, thanks for taking the time to watch. In this video, I'm going to give 10 tips/facts about breastfeeding. Let's get into it. Before I begin, I bet you're wondering why I'm in my car. Well, if you're new here, then you probably don't know. I have 5 children, including a newborn. So sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to get things done. So here we are. If you see me looking down every now and then, it's because I have my handy dandy notebook because, you know, the pregnancy brain hasn't gone anywhere. Number 1 on my list, before your angel is even earth side, your boobs are gonna double in size. They're already gonna get big while you're pregnant, but as you get closer to your delivery time, they're gonna start to get ready to be filled with milk and they are going to grow again. Personally, I am very top heavy, so this was actually my biggest issue with pregnancy. They're just huge, and at the end of the pregnancy they just get bigger and heavier, and they're actually more annoying than the bump in the 9th month. Number 2, now number 2 is not going to be the same for every woman, but breast milk leakage. Yes, this happens during pregnancy. Yes, this is normal around the end of pregnancy. You might get leaky breast. Don't be concerned. Number 3, preparing your nipples for breastfeeding. Yes, it's a thing, ladies. It might sound a little weird, but look, you got to do what you got to do, okay? For those of you who have never breastfed, and even for those of us who have breastfed, anytime you go a long period of time without breastfeeding, it's gonna hurt like it was the very first time. So what I suggest you do is when you turn about 7 months, maybe 8 months, whenever you get into the shower, take your wash rag and stimulate your nipples. Now you don't want to do this too much because too much stimulation can cause contractions. So just for about 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, just go ahead and rub that washcloth on your nipples, and that will start to toughen them up, and then it'll make breastfeeding a little bit easier when you're first starting out. Number 4, you're in the hospital, you just had your little baby, and right away they latch baby. If you tell them that you want to breastfeed, they go ahead and they latch baby, and you think all is well, right? Well, the reality is your milk has not come in yet. What your baby is drinking on is colostrum, which is what they get before your milk actually comes in. This is normal for a newborn. Just a little bit of colostrum that fills their tummy. Your breast milk will come in. It'll come in within a week of you having baby. So don't panic. Don't feel like you're not feeding your baby. Even though I panicked my last pregnancy and delivery, like I didn't already know this. What you can do, if it makes you feel any better, is you can go ahead and hand express your colostrum and collect it, and then you can rub it across baby's gums. This is what they did for me. Whenever Serenity was born, she did have to go to the NICU, and my milk hadn't come in yet. I was completely distraught. And, you know, I just did what I had to do. I hand expressed my colostrum. They gave me little syringes to collect that colostrum in. And the NICU nurses were just putting that on her gums, rubbing it in. And, you know, she got what she needed. You do want to go ahead and continue to latch baby, even if they're not feeding for a long time because your milk hasn't come in. What's happening is every time you latch baby, you are signaling to your body to create milk. So the more you latch baby, even if it's just for a minute or two, the quicker your milk is going to come in. You just got to keep at it. Number 5, if, like me, you had a special circumstance in the hospital and you're not able to be right there with your baby 24/7 and your milk hasn't come in, and in my situation, Serenity had Coombs positive test. Her bilirubin was very low, so she needed to eat. We needed to feed her, and my milk hadn't come in. Don't panic. So, and you don't have to go to formula. There is a such thing as donor human milk. If you do not know about donor human milk, I will put that link in the description. And you can talk to your local lactation consultant, and they will be able to give you more information. Just because your milk doesn't come in doesn't mean you have to go to formula. It does not mean you have to go to formula. Number 6, 2021 is all about giving yourself grace, right? Especially when you're a new mama or you're pregnant, you have to give yourself grace. Whenever you have your baby, breastfeeding is going to seem very hard, and it is hard. It's not in your imagination. It's very hard. You just have to remember that just like you are learning, so is baby. Try to relax. When you're holding baby and you're trying to nurse, relax your shoulders, take a deep breath. Remember the energy that you have inside of you, you are transmitting to your baby. So if you're stressed out, your baby is stressed out. Do skin to skin and you guys can both relax. There are so many resources out there that will help with breastfeeding. It seems frustrating, but I promise you, it will get better. And if it doesn't, and you have to go to a different form of feeding your baby, that's okay. That is okay. You have not failed whatsoever. Fed is best. When you're in the hospital, you have access to a lactation consultant. Use her. Use her. Call her as many times as it takes. She's being paid for this. You're not bugging anyone, okay? You have to learn how to latch. Baby has to learn how to latch. There are different things that can go on. There's a such thing as lip, tongue, and cheek ties. If your breastfeeding is extremely painful, it's going to be painful when you first start out, right? But if it's extremely painful to where you kind of want to give up and this is just like you're bleeding and you now have scabs, that should not be happening. That means your baby is not latching right. Either baby just needs to learn how to latch, or your baby might have a tie. Make sure you ask inside of the hospital, because not all lactation consultants will check for that. Not all pediatricians will check for that. So my advice, if you are going to breastfeed your baby, go ahead and research those things before you have your baby, so you know what to look for physically and what signs to look for when you're attempting to breastfeed your baby. Before I continue, if you are enjoying this video and the information that you're getting out of it, please go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to like this video, share it if you can, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload new content. Number 7, in the hospital, you will have access to an electric breast pump. Use it. They will also give you a lot of storage for your breast milk for collection. In regards to bottle use, if you're going to bottle feed in the hospital, make sure that they are using a slow flow nipple. The reason that this is important is because it is harder for baby to get milk from the breast than it is from the bottle. So if you put on a regular nipple and they're getting the milk with ease, that's when you're going to get nipple confusion in. That's when they're not going to want to latch and do all the work it takes for them to get the milk from the breast. For me personally, I latch and I pump. So get those storage bottles that they offer you at the hospital, take them home, and make sure that all of your nipples are slow flow. Now, I would not suggest introducing a bottle to or a pacifier to baby for the first 2 to 4 weeks, but like in my case with Serenity, my last baby, I had to introduce the bottle because she needed to eat and my milk had not come in yet. So sometimes you have to do it beforehand, but my advice is to not introduce a bottle or pacifier to your breastfed baby for the first 2 to 4 weeks of life. Number 8 on my list is dedicated to the mamas who have to go back to work. Once those 2 to 4 weeks are up and you're ready to introduce baby to the bottle to get used to drinking from a bottle during the hours that you are at work, what I suggest is continuing to latch baby on for each feeding, and once baby has drank from both sides or one side if they have a favorite, go ahead and follow up that latching with pumping. This will trigger your body to create more milk. You're telling your body, hey, my baby needs more milk. And so your body will, in most cases, go ahead and create that extra milk, and that extra milk is what you can use for your stash. Number 9 on my list is what pumps to use. So I am going to recommend to you guys, if you follow my Instagram page, if you have watched any of my vlogs or any of my other videos, then you know I love the Medela. Electric pumping does not work for me. My supply goes down when I use electric pumps. I just don't like them. I know that there are some women who swear by them, love them, who use only electric pumps. that's fine also. Let's say you decide you want to use the electric. If you use the electric and you find that you're not getting much milk out, or your production has gone down a bit since you started using the electric, before going over to formula or giving up on breastfeeding, why don't you try the manual? I also like the Haka. A Haka is a silicone breast pump that is attached to you by way of suction, and it's really not made to be your main pump. It's really meant for catching your letdown milk. If you don't know what your letdown milk is, when you attach baby to one side to latch, it stimulates both nipples, and a lot of the times the opposite nipple of where you're latching from begins to leak. Nobody wants to waste any breast milk, right? So if you purchase a Haka, you attach that to your opposite breast and it catches your letdown milk. This is one of the ways that I've been successful in building my stash. The manual Medela pump, you can get it at Walmart or Target for 20 something bucks, like 28 bucks. And the Haka, I was able to catch my Haka on sale for 12 bucks. The normal price is anywhere from 20 to 30, depending on what size you get and where you get it from. Number 10. Number 10 is very specific and is very near and dear to my heart. It deals with breastfeeding and jaundice. Two of my babies had very bad cases of jaundice. They were Coombs positive. If you find yourself in a situation where your baby has really bad jaundice, one, figure out what type of jaundice they have. There are 3 different types. With my second daughter, she had breastfeeding jaundice, and they wanted me to supplement with milk with formula. I did that for 2 weeks, and after that she wanted nothing else to do with the breast. What I did this go round is, when I realized that my 5th baby was having the same issues and they said, hey, why don't we try supplementing formula to get her bilirubin levels down, I didn't refuse. I went ahead and did that, but what I did was I alternated. I did one feeding with her latching to me, and then the next feeding I did formula. And I did this for 24 hours and it got her bilirubin levels down. I don't think that there's a lot of research on it, and I don't think that a lot of doctors will offer this to you. Even my pediatrician, she wasn't going to offer that to me. I thought to myself, I don't want to go gun-ho and just do all formula like I did with Aaliyah. I really want to make sure that my breastfeeding journey is successful. So that is what the plan that I came up with, and she was on board with it. And her levels went down literally overnight. Now, I'm not saying that this will work for everyone, but I just want you all to know that there is that option out there should your baby have high bilirubin levels and the UV light is just not bringing them down. That's it for my top 10 tips / facts for breastfeeding. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If you have any more suggestions or tips, please also drop those in the comments below for other mamas to read and for me to read. I'm still on my breastfeeding journey. I don't know everything, so I welcome any information that you have. I want to thank you guys for watching, for tuning in. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.